What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're having a great day. Just finished a mile, walking and running a mile. I couldn't run the whole time for some reason today. Sometimes it depends on the weather. It's kind of humid today, so it was hard for me to run like I usually do. But I hope y'all having a great day. Hope y'all uh, enjoying y'all Wednesday. Summer almost over. August. Kind of gloomy today, kind of cloudy, but it's all good. It's all good. Just grateful to see another day. A lot of things as far as health these days, you know, as far as the foods we eat, so many new chemicals they putting in foods and all sorts of things that can alter so much things in your body, you don't even know, and they won't tell you these things, as far as your health is concerned. You see stuff every day about certain things, about certain foods and stuff like that, and chemicals that we take in, as far as what we eat on a daily basis. It's crazy. It's crazy how these things affect our bodies, and even how they affect our mind. You know, Neurological things, going on with your mind and stuff like that can happen. You know, so be aware of that as well. You know, I think mental health is the most important thing. Your mental, without your mental, you won't have the mindset to really do the things that you want to do, as far as your mindset. And so, think about those things. Think about your mental health, because your mental health is everything. And so, yeah, you just got to remember those things. Your mental health is very important. You know, Mental health is very important. Come on. But I hope you're having a great day. Hope you're having a great day. Just taking a little cool down after walk, mile run. Well, I say mile run and walk. But yeah, a lot of things to consider in life, as far as our health and stuff. But just taking a walk. A lot of people, even celebrities, they go through mental health issues, especially celebrities. If you're dealing with something and you're not wealthy, you don't have a lot of money, and then when you become rich, you know, people think those things become better. You kind of get away from those things, but once you get money, those things can be a lot more illuminating, if you know what I mean. You have a problem or addiction before, you know, you get that fame and that fortune, most likely, those things that you're addicted to, those habits, can become worse because you feel like you're more invincible with a lot of money, And we see that, like people like Diddy, a lot of people think when you get money, things get better, as far as your mental health. But things can get worse if you have a habit or addiction that you have. Those things can get a lot worse because you have more money to uh, to feed those addictions and habits. And so, you know, mental health is everything. I think mental health is more important than physical health because if you had a mindset to work out, had a mindset to eat, those things, those physical things will be, it'll fall into place more easier. How you doing, X4, X4, But yeah, those things will fall into place. What's up, Cordelia? But yeah, those things will fall into place. If you get your health right. Appreciate you, X-Forcer. The things you do is not, you know, resourceful, but in the future, you'll look back and say, it was worth the sacrifice to do things. I'm gonna keep going with this channel. I'm gonna keep going. Sometimes it get hard. Sometimes it seems like it's not worth it to do certain things. But just try to keep in my mind. Try to keep in mind that things is worth it. Sometimes you don't see the fruits of your labor right away. You know, sometimes you don't see the fruits of your labor right away, but the more you keep going with things, the more you keep going with things, better things get. You have a good day as well. Have a good day as well. But that's what I want to talk about. Your mental health is everything. Even how much money you get, it's all about your mental health. To sustain you, in life. And so, I basically want to say that because a lot of people, they have so much trauma in their life, and they never deal with what's going on in their head. They wonder why people leave them and why they can't stay in a relationship. It's because things happen in their lives, traumas happen in people's lives, and they never deal with it. So that's a very important thing. People deal with stuff all the time. So, but I hope y'all having a great day. I hope you're having a successful day. But yeah, deal with your mental health. I've dealt with a lot of things mentally in my mind. I always felt wasn't good enough for this, good enough for that. Things implanted in my mind to say I'm not worthy of certain things. when in reality, I am. So, it's a lot of things to deal with that. But again, appreciate y'all for watching. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. All right, peace.